Well, like I said, we've been talking about this. I mean, the materials are called green based on either the material they're made of, which means it's a natural product that's renewable, like bamboo flooring. Bamboo is an easily renewable product, can be grown very easily, very quickly, and so the use of that product makes green sense, if you will, and they produce this, and it's available, and it's becoming very popular, and as a result of it becoming very popular, it's also becoming more affordable. And then things like the wall covering, perforating the back of the wall covering allows the walls to breathe. It doesn't keep, in Texas we have issues, for instance, with mold and mildew and that kind of thing, and that's because we seal up our buildings and we create environments that are not very healthy if there's unhealthy things in that environment, and vinyl wall covering doesn't support that. So the material of vinyl isn't necessarily recyclable, but a lot of the vinyl products are recycling material into it, so 20% or more is considered a green product in wall coverings. Some wall coverings are totally recycled, so you get 100% recycled. This is 100% recycled. You can't tear it if you grab it. You can't tear it. It feels, if you feel like it, it doesn't feel like a typical wall covering, but it's still extremely durable. The low VOC paints, the fact that they do not release toxins into the environment. All of us who've walked into a painted room, you know, you definitely can recognize that odor. That odor is toxic, and while it will breathe and you outgas over a period of time, it doesn't become as toxic an environment. What we're doing is eliminating it right up front.
Pat, I have a question. So if a client were to come to you and want to be green to a certain degree, how do you counsel them on the impact to cost? How does that work? Is there a way that you can say that this is a green product and this is
so much percent? Good question. In general, the recycled green products are going to run 15–20% more, whether it's per yard, per square foot.
Materials.
Materials.
Labor isn't affected.
Labor is not necessarily affected. In some cases, think about it. No, not really, because the installation of 100% vinyl wall covering versus an eco-friendly wall covering isn't really going to affect. The adhesives are different, but the application is the same. So for the most part, the labor isn't there. Other than what you mentioned earlier with buildings, what they do with their waste product when they're done, that kind of thing. If they're going to recycle it out of the project and everything, the efforts made to do that are going to cost a little bit more money. Do you need to do that to be green? No. If you use the green material on the wall and it just so happens you put everything out in the dumpster and you didn't recycle it, you still can claim that you're green. Like Dave said, you know, how far do you want to go with that is a call that you get to make. But that number is changing. For instance, look, VOC paints used to be twice as much per gallon than regular paint. Nowadays, you can get them for maybe 5% more in certain arenas. Home Depot, I use that example of the fresh air paint, that there is a little more expensive, but not that much more expensive. So it is a call. It's a decision to say, this is more important. The environment and how it's going to support me in my environment is more important, and it's a worthy investment for me. And that's what the interior designer, how we affect the green decisions that doctors make, is we try to create environments that are going to be less toxic to them.
Is there, and I had somebody ask me this the other day, is there a difference in infection control? Is there something you need to worry about, green products versus non-green, or is the same infection control, same sanitary?
Well, when you talk about infection control in a dental office, in our experience, that is, you want materials that are going to be washable and durable and be able to deal with the biocides that you're going to use to clean a surface and turn over an operatory, for instance. So that's going to eliminate some of the products that might be green but won't perform against those. So, but there are, for instance, some countertops that are recycled countertops. They have glass product in them, and they are extremely durable, and you can spray them down all day long, and they will do well. Bamboo flooring would be an example of a flooring that would not be what I would recommend, primarily because of its performance more than its durability. But
so you wouldn't recommend it in the operatory, is what you're saying?
Yeah, the bamboo flooring is not something I'm, at least, if you're familiar with bamboo flooring, if you've ever used it in your home, for instance, you notice that it will dent, it will just show dents. That usually drive our clients nuts. They want a product that's going to look pristine or look how it's supposed to look all the time. And you have to damp mop it, and trying to do that in a dental office with all the things that might be going on in there, it might become more problematic as far as maintenance. Could you put it in there? Absolutely. If you're willing to accept some of those implications, sure, sure.